Hey everybody, it's that time again. I'm feeling inspired and I have to record, so it's another drive time download. What do you know? So some things have been happening in my life that I really would like to share that I think may be helpful for all of you. And that is, what do we do when our life feels like, how do I say this? Maybe turbulent, or things are changing, or for me, it is my husband and I have been bickering the last month or so. And yesterday I had woken up and I had said to him, oh my God, I feel like we made a mistake about our younger son's school and we should have put him in private school. And oh my God, he's not going to get into college. And I woke up feeling like almost in a panic about it. Then that sent him into a panic instead. I think I caught him off guard, and he got so worried that I was going to then spin out of control, and he was leaving on a business trip. It's like 6 a.m, and he's like, you need to go to the therapist and talk about this because you're going to be spinning out of control and obsessing on this. And he was really worried about me. And he left, and I went on my morning 6 a.m. walk, and I chuckled about the whole dang thing, because what I realize is turbulence is a good thing. And what we do so quickly, we jump into our adolescent chair, which is where the ego exists. And we jump into this chair so quickly, unconsciously, and want to fix things. And I want to fix my son because he wasn't doing good in honors pre-calculus. And if he was at a better school, he would have had a better teacher. And I mean, the ego goes off on a wild goose chase trying to fix things. So instead of me obsessing on that during my walk, what I chose to do instead was climb into my adult chair, which means I not only become an observer of my thoughts, but secondly, it means I'm going to connect into my inner child and connect into what I'm feeling and what are my emotions. So instead I did that. Again, I honestly chuckled about the whole thing because it seems that using this model of the adult chair, I'm able to get myself out of these panicky, scared moments much faster than ever before. And when I first got married 21 years ago to my husband, when I would go into a panic, it was all my old stuff from my family of origin, and I would sit and I would go into a panic and I would slide and I would get sad, and my husband had to pull me. So he still has all that memory in his mind. And I keep reminding him, like, I am so different than I ever was 20 some years ago. For God's sake, like, catch up with me. So what I learned is through this whole experience yesterday morning, it was really beautiful actually, that turbulence, first of all, it simply means I'm having an emotion and the brain, again, is coming in to try and fix it. But if you want to look at even like the last month or so, my husband have just not been seen eye to eye. And we've been bickering. He's getting under my skin, I'm getting under his skin. And instead of looking at that like, oh my God, we're going to have to get divorced, I'm looking at it really through the lens of the soul. So when we sit in the adult chair, it's like there's something inside of me guiding me through this whole thing. So all that it's telling me is not that we're getting a divorce. Instead, and who knows, again, I don't really know what's coming. Maybe we are. I have no idea. But for me, I kind of got excited because I said, ooh, change is coming. So oftentimes turbulence does not mean something's bad and it's going to wind up in a divorce or death or the loss of a job or the loss of a house or no money or something bad. And that's exactly where the ego goes, immediately into the fear of the worst case thing that could possibly happen. So in my case, yesterday morning, I was thinking, oh my God, my kid's going to fail out of school because he'll never get into the college that he wants to get into because he's not doing well in his honors pre-calc. And my brain then goes into, oh my God, I got to get him into a better school. And he should have been in a private school. And I mean, all of these rapid, and again, when the thoughts are really fast, remember that's us in our adolescent chair because it's the ego trying to fix it. So during my walk, I sat and I felt my emotions. And I said, what's going on here? Like, what is really happening? What do I feel? What are my emotions around my son not doing well in honors pre-calc? What I came to after sitting and feeling and sitting and feeling and feeling and feeling during my walk, what I realized was I was feeling really scared that he's not going to do well and not going to get into his college, and scared also that I made a mistake. And that's one of my themes in my life. I'm really afraid I'm going to make mistakes. And then if I make a mistake, it's going to reflect back to me that not only did I make the wrong decision, but that I'm just really bad and I'm wrong. So, wow, that did not feel good when I had to sit in that. But I did feel it. And I was like, oh yeah, that's that old feeling that comes up from time and time again. And I'm like, oh, there it is. It's that feeling of I'm bad and I'm wrong. And I felt it and it went through me. And then I had to chuckle again. I'm like, this is so cool because it's just showing me again how quickly that ego jumps into fix when we feel really deep emotions. And more often than not, we don't even know what we're feeling, emotionally speaking, and we quickly go into that fix. So it was such a great experience. And then afterwards, after my walk, and during my walk, actually, I still had more awarenesses even about my husband and I. And I called him and left him a voicemail because he was on an airplane. And I said, I just wanted to let you know, I know things have felt turbulent over the last few weeks or month or so. I said, which actually gets me excited. And it tells me, it's an indicator for me that change is coming. So the way things have been for probably the last 20 years with us, we got married and had a child right away, and we've had kids for 20 years. And now we have a younger son who's a junior in high school. Like our lives together are changing. And I said to him, I'm so excited about this turbulence because it tells me there's change coming. And we need change in this marriage. And it's going to be hopefully a good thing. But again, I don't even know what's coming. But I said, it's going to be good. And I said, what I would encourage, and so I said to my husband on the voicemail, I said, what I would encourage you to do is to dig deeper into yourself, into your own emotions, and stay connected to yourself during this time. And I'm going to do the same. And if you hear me wake up in the morning and I'm afraid about something or spinning about something, I said, please remind me and ask me what I'm feeling underneath all of those thoughts. I said, and I'd like to do the same thing for you. And then let's see where this marriage goes. Because what we want to do in order to be connected to other people, we really, really, really want to connect deeply into ourselves. I use this analogy many times in my sessions, yesterday with clients, because of what had happened in the morning. And what I realized is, again, I had the realization that when we have an emotion that comes up for us, it's like riding a surfboard on this big giant wave. And we climb onto that surfboard and very quickly we jump off and try to fix. Instead, ride that wave, ride that emotion to completion. And we don't do that well. We don't do that well. If you want to relieve anxiety, this is how you do it. Because in my opinion, anxiety, remember, this is Michelle Chalfont's take on anxiety. Anxiety is not an emotion. It's a physical manifestation of unfelt emotions. So what we want to do is feel our emotions to completion and then watch what happens to the anxiety, to the depression, to our lives in general. So I said that to my husband. I said, we've got to keep riding our surfboards to completion of when the wave lands on the beach, then we get off. Turbulence can be a great thing in any relationship. Again, work, home, friends, kids, because it means change. Change is coming. And instead of trying to fix it in the mind, coming up with ideas, remember, the ideas that we get are coming from this adolescent chair more often than not. And they are coming from the emotional aspect of a 12-year-old child, or when you were a 12-year-old kid. So think about yourself in middle school. That's where the ideas are coming from. So when I was sitting yesterday, spinning out of control, saying, oh my God, we got to get him into a private school and then he's going to do better. And it's like, no, that's not the answer. But in that moment, that was the only thing that came to me. So instead, I sat with my emotions, got to the bottom of my emotions, released them. And it was ironic or not. I wouldn't say anything is. Everything really happens, I think, for a reason. But my son came home. And one of the things that I was stressed about is his guidance counselor, when I reached out to her last week, said he could not change out of honors pre-cal. He had to stay in it. But here, after all this upsetness yesterday morning that I had when I woke up, my son came home yesterday and he said, I have to tell you, I am going to be able to get into regular pre-cal. I went to the principal. We're all working it out. I'm going in first thing today and it's going to be done. So all of that upsetness was for nothing. Again, what it reinforced for me is our soul has a plan. Our soul is in charge. Are you lining up with your soul, which is in the adult chair, riding that surfboard, even when it's scary, even when it freaks you out? Or are you controlling it and thinking you know best? I don't know best. I think I do most of the time, but when I really let go of the reins and allow life to happen and unfold, it does work out for the best, even when it's turbulent, even when it's bickering with husbands and kids almost failing out of classes. It's, so I look at the experience that my son had. My son got to go in, feel his own power, speak up for himself, find his confidence, his self-esteem. He had to go take care of the whole thing. He knows he's got his certain college that he wants to apply to, and he cannot apply there with an F in pre-cal honors. So he went in and he took care of it. So it was a really big opportunity for him. I did not get involved other than text his guidance counselor a week ago and say, is the deadline over? And she said, yes, that was it. He took care of it. So again, let go. Ride that wave. I had a client yesterday that had come in and she said she was so worried about losing her job. There was something that had gone down at work. It was a really big thing. And she said, I don't know what to do. I don't know if I should stay with my job. I don't know if I should quit my job. I'm really confused. I don't know. And she was all over the place. And I said to her, how cool is this? I said, it's reminding me of my morning. And I shared with her what had happened to me. I said, it's a turbulent time. It's like being on a sailboat in the middle of a lake or an ocean and a giant windstorm is coming. I said, what do you want to do? I said, just hold on, don't steer, and go. Get on your surfboard and ride it, and let's see where your soul wants you to land. We don't know what our next step is. We don't know where we're being guided. And that ego latches on to, relationships that we are in, to jobs that we have, to how our kids' lives are supposed to go. So we need to stop it and trust that there is something else guiding us. And in my opinion, the soul is very much, the soul is connected to something much bigger than we are. God, the universe, source, whatever you'd like to call it, that's guiding us because it wants different experiences. We did not come in to have this little house on the prairie life where nothing goes wrong and everything's easy. And no, we came in for experiences. And the ego would label experiences as good or bad. But really, the soul looks at them all as fantastic. It wants to experience grief. It wants to experience joy and everything in between. Our job is to ride that wave of all of it, all of the emotions, and get out of trying to fix and control and just ride. And we can have preferences and intentions for sure and choose things. But when we start getting controlling and we fall into fear, it's time to sit and feel our emotions. So there you have it. Turbulent times mean change is coming. It's a good thing. And so I said to my husband, I'm really excited because you know what? After 20 years of this marriage, it's kind of boring sometimes. And it's like we're kind of in the same routine and we got another kid leaving next year and we got big changes coming. It's time for us as a couple to change. So I said to him, this is a great thing. He was so excited with my email or with my voicemail. He's like, you need to talk about this more. So I keep thinking about it. So this is why I'm talking about it right now with you guys, because it's so true. Turbulence is good, you guys. It's good. Ride it out, but feel your emotions along the way and watch what happens. I think you might be pleasantly surprised. All right. Have a beautiful day. Love you all.